The scene in the UK Parliament was charged with an undeniable energy as Nigel Farage, ever the provocateur, stood at the dispatch box, ready to do what he does best, ask the questions that many are too hesitant to voice. His reputation for pushing boundaries precedes him, and as soon as he opened his mouth, all eyes were on him. With the room alive with anticipation, Farage posed a question that sent ripples across the House, a question that, on the surface, seemed simple, yet carried the weight of 1,000 unspoken concerns. What exactly is going on with the EU? He asked, with his signature directness and a tone that hinted at frustration and curiosity in equal measure. In that instant, Parliament erupted. There were gasps, murmurs, and a palpable tension in the air. Farage had done it again. He had confronted a subject that many, despite their personal opinions, had avoided. The European Union had always been a contentious issue in British politics, and Farage, a staunch Eurosceptic, had long been a vocal critic of the Union's influence on the UK. He had led the charge for Brexit, and now, he was reminding everyone of the chaos and uncertainty that had followed the historic referendum. His question wasn't just about politics. It was about the future of the nation, the sovereignty of the people, and the shifting alliances that were redefining the landscape. As Farage's words echoed around the room, the response from fellow MPs was immediate. Some, predictably, were quick to dismiss his inquiry, shaking their heads and rolling their eyes, but others were less certain, caught in the web of his pointed observations. It was clear that Farage had struck a nerve. His question, though blunt, revealed the undercurrents of doubt that still run through British politics regarding the EU. Despite the promises made during the Brexit campaign, the aftermath had left many wondering whether the nation was truly better off outside the European bloc. And with every passing day, new challenges seemed to arise, casting shadows over the optimism of those who had voted to leave. Farage, however, wasn't asking just for the sake of stirring up trouble. His question was born out of a genuine desire to hold the government to account. The people of Britain had voted for change, but many still felt that the promised benefits of Brexit had yet to materialise. The country had seen its economy take hits, its international relationships become more complicated, and its position on the world stage shift. Farage's challenge to Parliament was a reminder that accountability cannot be ignored, no matter how uncomfortable the conversation might be. In the face of his challenge, some MPs responded with their usual rhetoric, deflecting attention away from the real issues, but there was no escaping the uncomfortable truth that Farage had exposed. His question had cut to the heart of the matter, and in doing so, he had once again shown why he remains one of the most influential figures in British politics. The roar of Parliament that followed his question was not just a reaction to his words but to the fundamental question he had posed: what does the future hold for the UK, and will the nation finally be allowed to steer its own course, free from the constraints of the European Union? Only time will tell.